Sit. Good girl. Hi guys, so today I'm filming a mini mince pie video because it's nearly Christmas and I thought it would be a good idea. So you will need some short crust pastry. Now you can either make this yourself or buy it, and I thought I'd buy it just to make my life easier. Doggies, what are you doing? I think it's pretty easy to make, but knowing me, it will probably go wrong. So. This is just M&S. You'll need some flour, some butter for greasing the tin, some icing sugar, minced meat, obviously, can't make mince pies without that. You will need something for greasing the tin. I guess you could just use your fingers, but that might be a bit gross. A rolling pin, a mini mince pie tin. Now this is a tin with basically mini cupcake holes in it. And this is from the Pampered Chef, but I'm pretty sure you can get them online or supermarkets. I'm sure you can get them in lots of places. This is also from the Pampered Chef. Now, I'll show you later, but this is basically for smushing the pastry in the tin. But you don't have to use one of those. You can use a teaspoon or the end of a small rolling pin. You'll need a sieve and something to put the mince pies on while they are cooling. And also, lastly, a cutter. Now, you can either use maybe a star, or you can even just put a circle on the top. I found this in Sainsbury's, and it's a little snowflake cut. Can't talk. It's a little snowflake cutter. I was going to get a star, but I thought this looked cute. And it's got a little stamp on it, so it leaves a little imprint of a snowflake on, and it was half price. It was £1.50, reduced from £3, so that's good. Say hi! Say hi! You're so cute. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is preheat the oven to 100... I don't know which oven to use. I'm going to preheat the oven to 200 degrees. The fan oven would be 180 degrees, but I'm not going to use that because it might be a bit noisy. Right, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is take the flour, and I'm just going to sprinkle some all over the work surface so that my pastry doesn't stick. Then I'm going to take my short crust pastry. You're supposed to keep this in the fridge, but I took it out maybe half an hour ago, so it's all nice and soft. This is already quite thin, but I'm going to roll it out a little bit more. I'm going to grab a little bit more flour and just sprinkle it over the top. So then what I'm going to do is take the baking tray, and I need this as I go along because I'm going to be putting the pastry in here. I'm going to take the butter. Oh, my dad's in the garden. Literally just get this greaser thing and just pop some butter on it. You can tell I don't really know what I'm doing. I've made these before and they turn out well, so I'm hoping they do again. I'm just going to literally swivel this around in here so that the pastry doesn't stick to it and you have to like scrape it off the bottom. What's he doing? Smoking salmon in the barbecue. As you do. So once you've greased your tin, take a piece of pastry, roll it into a ball. The reason I rolled it out earlier is so that when I use the cutter to put the snowflake on top, it's nice and thin. And I'm going to put one ball in each section like this. I'll show you. You can make balls a bit bigger depending on how thick you want your pastry. Okay, so I have done that. I put them all in the baking tray. Now what I'm going to do is take this. I'm not actually sure what this even is called. Like a plunger thing. I don't know, it's from the Pampered Chef, but you do not have to use this. I don't expect you to go and buy one, especially to make mini mince pies. You can use the end of a rolling pin, so this is just a small rolling pin, and you can use this. I'm going to show you what to do in a second. Or you could even use a spoon. I'm just going to zoom you in so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to just press, turn it this way so it's easier to see. Pop it in, and I'm just going to push it down right in the middle until the sides come up. Just like so. And I'm going to do that with all of them. It doesn't matter if they're not exactly even. They're meant to be homemade and they're meant to look authentic. And as I said, you can also use a rolling pin to do the same, or a teaspoon, and you can just push the edges out. Just like that. Okay, so now I have made a little well in all of the mince pies. I'm going to take my mince meat. This is just M&S classic mince meat. You can get whatever you like. Can't open it. Oh, finally. So once you have opened your mince meat, you want to take a teaspoon, 1 teaspoonful, maybe even less, but I'm just going to grab that and you're going to spoon it into each mince pie. So I have spooned all my mincemeat into my mince pies, as you can see. Right, the next step, just put them aside, is the pastry I rolled out earlier and the rest of it. I am just going to grab a cutter, so this is going to make the top of your mince pie. I don't know why, but I can only whistle one note. Strange. And now I'm going to put them all on top of the mince pies. So I will show you first of all how they came out. So that's how they turned out, the little snowflakes. I think they look so adorable. Okay, so I'm literally just going to lay these on top. I've got some leftover pastry, so I'm just going to make some more out of the leftover pastry I have. So I have now added some more mince pies and used up all my pastry. I've got the little snowflakes on. I've just made sure they're stuck down properly. I'm going to pop these in the oven now. Okay, so I have popped them in the oven and I've set the timer for 10 minutes. They usually take maybe 10 to 12 minutes, but I'm just going to keep an eye on them in the oven and we shall see how they turn out. Ooh, they're done. I've just taken them out of the oven and they look really good. So this is what they look like. I'm really happy, they look really nice. Now I'm going to spoon them out onto this, which is just a rack while they cool down. So I've put them all on this cooling rack and they've cooled down for about 15-20 minutes, and now I'm going to use the icing sugar to sprinkle them. So I'm going to grab any old icing sugar, grab a sieve, pour some in here, it will go everywhere. Ooh. And I'm just going to lightly dust them. I've sprinkled icing sugar all over them and I have now finished. This is what they look like. Really cute. I'm all done. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you did. Bye.